R.I.C.H coming right back at you. This is a crazy world when you got to remind people what right and wrong even look like anymore. Because somewhere along the way, this whole narrative between R.I.C.H and Gucci Mane has got flipped. And before we even talk about that, we got to go back to the beginning. We need to go back to R.I.C.H. We need to go back to the federal side of this, because this ain't no blog story and this ain't no rumor. This is a federal case.
Major news out of the music industry today. Rappers by the stage names of Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 have been arrested, along with several others. And they're accused of robbing and kidnapping another rapper going by the name of Gucci Mane. All happened at gunpoint, apparently, in Dallas. The Department of Justice revealing new details on that investigation today. Mercedes Holguin live for us right outside the federal building in Dallas where that took place. What's the latest on all this?
Doug, investigators say this incident took place in Dallas back in January. 8 of the 9 suspects were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence.
According to the DOJ, on January 10th, rapper Gucci Mane and 2 others were allegedly kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located on Dallas Parkway. They say the ringleader behind this attack was another rapper, Pooh Shiesty, alleging he was the one who set up the meeting to discuss his recording contract.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint.
Officials say a total of 9 suspects were involved, including Pooh Shiesty's father and rapper Big 30.
The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
The DOJ released these pictures, and a federal complaint states that the suspects posted videos on social media where you can see them wearing some of the jewelry they stole. Investigators were also able to link the suspects to the crime through electronic monitoring, saying that Pooh Shiesty was already in federal home confinement at the time of the robbery. Officials say all 9 suspects will be transported over to North Texas, where they will be sentenced. And the arrest for that 9th suspect will be happening soon. For now, reporting from Dallas, Mercedes Holguin, CBS News Texas.
Now, you can see this is a major situation. This ain't he say, she say. This is the government stepping in. And when the feds step in, that means something serious happened. Now, let me lay this out clean. We're not talking about a random street incident. We're not talking about somebody getting caught slipping outside the club. This was a business setting, a studio, a place where you're supposed to be safe. And according to what's being reported, this turned into an armed takeover. Not an argument, not a scuffle, but an armed situation. Now, let me paint this real simple so everybody can understand it. If you leave in the club and somebody rob you, you might just say, I got caught slipping. You might take it on the chin. You might just charge it to the gang. But this ain't that. This is you showing up to work, then walking into the break room, and there's people in there with AKs waiting for you. Weapons involved, no warning. This was a setup. And that's the part people are trying to skip over. Because when you set somebody up like that, you ain't just robbing them. You putting their life on the line. You could have got that man killed. You could have got everybody in that room hurt. And that's where this whole street code talk starts sounding crazy. And this is where I'm going to say something real clear. If what's being reported is true, this was a slime ball move by Pooh Shiesty. Point blank. Ain't no glorifying it, ain't no spinning it. This wasn't solid, this was dangerous. And now, after all of that, the conversation has shifted to people starting to point the finger at Gucci. Because right now, you got people calling Gucci Mane a snitch. Let that sit for a second. A man who was allegedly robbed in a business meeting, a man who had employees with him, is now being labeled for cooperating with law enforcement. Make that make sense. Because the last time I checked, snitching was when you were involved in the crime. Snitching was when you was trying to save yourself. Snitching was when you part of the play and then you try to tell. But how do you snitch when you the victim? And this is the example I need everybody to understand. If you walking down the street and somebody rob you, you might handle it different. But if you go to your job and somebody set you up at your workplace with other people depending on you, that's a whole different responsibility. Because now it's not just about you. It's about your team, your people. No matter what people say, I think Gucci Mane would have went out different if he was by himself. But when he looked through that glass and saw his employee getting choked out, he had to get everybody out of the room safe. He had to protect the videographer because Gucci knew he was the target. But what about them? What code is supposed to protect them? And that's the question nobody want to answer because it don't sound good. It don't fit the image. And let's talk about Gucci for a second. Not the rapper, the businessman. This man is a multi-million-dollar brand. He runs a label. He employs people. He not out here doing crimes with you. He conducting business. So how is he supposed to apply street rules to a business situation? Everybody would have loved it if Gucci Mane went back to his old self and turned this into a violent situation. But that's where this whole argument falls apart because you trying to force street code on a businessman who was set up in a professional environment.
I did my video with Gucci Mane. I went to Atlanta and I met Gucci Mane for the first time. And we did our song, we did the video. He had one nigga with him. It was a security guard. Big tall bald head nigga. He was a supporter. So when he met me, he embraced me like he supported me. He was like, hey bro, like me, my son, my nephew, like we embrace your music, whatever. I work for Gucci full time. He was like, but anytime I ain't working, I provide you my services because I'm an off-duty officer. And I'm a retired police officer. That's what he said. I'm a retired police officer. With that being said, Gucci been having the same security guard for a while. So if I don't know what the fuck going on, but if a move got put on WAP or however it went, I don't think it's WAP the one that's talking. I don't think it's WAP the one that's pressing the issue. But that security guard, the one that's their retired police officer, you can't tell him what to do with his life. That man 50-something years old. He got a wife and kids and family and all that old shit. You can't tell him what to do with his life.
Now, this is going to be interesting. It says all the people, all the victims, okay? Roderick Davis, BP, that's Gucci's homeboy. Roderick Davis is Gucci. And MM, which is the white cameraman, they all identified right. So I'm going to be honest here. It appears that all of these guys cooperated and identified these people as being present during the offense. Gucci and the cameraman identified his Instagram account as CEO Big 30. Okay, so, with all due respect here, no diss to Gucci. I love you, Gucci. Don't know if you're taking a stand, but Gucci's doing the identification. He's doing what I would do. He's doing, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll drop a dime on a nigga, bro. Yo, that nigga live right here, man. Hold on, like, yo, this is his girl right here. Yeah, he fucking side bitch over here. Yup. So, shout out to Gucci, man. Shout out to Gucci. So, Gucci identified. Yo, this is crazy. I need a drink, man. Yo, I need a drink, man. Yo, chat, I need a drink, man. Yo, Atlanta wildin' right now. I need a drink.
And that's what really bothers me about this whole thing. We're not even focused on the act. We focused on the response. We're not talking about the setup. We're talking about what the victim did after. And that makes no sense. Think about it. You got 7 or 8 people in a room with guns. Anybody could have lost their life at any minute. And that's backwards thinking. Because if we keep thinking like that, we basically saying this. You can do anything to somebody as long as they don't tell. And that is exactly how cycles keep going. And I'm going to say this one more time so you don't forget it. Gucci Mane was not in a crime with R.I.C.H. He wasn't robbing nobody with him. He wasn't selling no dope with him. So how? How is he snitching? That word has lost all its meaning. And until we fix that, we're going to keep protecting the wrong things. And that's why this situation right here is bigger than just them. This is about how we think about what we defend. This is about what we call right and what we call wrong. Because right now, it looks like we defending the setup and criticizing the survivor. And that right there is pitiful. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.